Okay, can everybody hear us now? We're live. Okay, thank you. We're going to edit that out. I'm going to start over a little bit and thank all of those who are joining us today. This is the last program we'll have in July, and then we will have, we'll skip August and then pick up again in September. And for those who are getting ready for school, I can't believe how fast this summer has gone, but it has gone by quickly. So tonight what we're going to do, I'm going to read a few jokes, and then we're going to read some good reviews and answer some questions. Justice is gone. Catherine is filling in, so thank you, Catherine, for being here. And she's going to feed me any questions that you might have. And if you have anybody that is challenged with depression, challenged with health issues, relationship issues, we're going to be talking about an exercise that can be done on the Cellercise today that's not following conventional protocols, but is absolutely going to make a difference if you practice it. And it's a literal exercise. We're going to start off, and it may not feel real comfortable to you, like many exercises often don't, but when you practice it, your quality of life, how you approach things, how you feel during the day, your ability to feel empowered, it is going to affect that. And that's what we want to do. And this is something that's gaining attention all over the world. But it hasn't been harnessed as effectively, I believe, as it can when you're on the Cellerciser. As we release endorphins, we release stress and tension, and then we practice this exercise. So if you can encourage anybody to be part of this, or if you feel good about the program we're done, if you can share it with others, by all means, please do. Okay, so let's start off with some jokes. All right, why do relationships work better on Wi-Fi? Because good connection is everything. Isn't that true? Relationships are a lot like algebra. Have you ever looked at your ex and wondered why? You have to think about that one. Okay, my partner and I always hold hands when we go out, because if I let go, they buy something. Love is blind, but marriage is a real eye-opener. They say, never go to bed angry. So we stay up and argue all night. Oh, that's awful. I asked my partner what they wanted for Valentine's Day. They said, nothing would make me happier than a clean house. So I got them nothing. Oh, not good. All right. So if you have a good joke, please send it in. I'd be happy to share your joke with the rest of the Cellercise family. Okay, so reviews. Mary, I am an RN and am living at a living example to my MD. I put up hay, bucked bales 2 weeks ago. Stopped at 50, but never thought at 50, but am 68 and surprised myself. So she was putting up 50 bales of hay, and she's 68. Praise the good Lord for Cellercise. Thank you, Mary. Ann writes, my favorite place to Cellercise, out on our deck at sunrise each morning, especially during the warm summer months. It's easy to move it outdoors and enjoy fresh air and morning sunshine while I do my favorite bounces on my incredibly awesome Cellerciser. Thank you, Ann. Christine writes, we have one with the handlebar. It is used 6 to 7 days a week. We've had it for almost 6 years. It's still perfectly fine. And thank you, Christine. And it should be perfectly fine for decades. When used correctly, we don't know how long these last, but this matte material and the springs don't stretch out like typical units often do. Lisa writes, I own 4. The best exercise ever. Kind of addicted. Laugh out loud. Thank you, Lisa. Tom writes, the tridaptable spring is unique and makes all the difference in the world if rebounding. Bungee cords and cheap regular springs are noisy and don't support the even response of the tridaptable springs, which have a more powerful feel. I would never go back to any other rebounder. Thank you, Tom. I agree with you. And you know, there's a lot of people we want to adopt into the Cellercise family, and many of them have tried other units. And many of them have come on board with the Cellerciser, and it's always helpful for them to hear the difference from people who have already been on the other side and have come back and recognize the results that they get with the resistance and the movement and support on a Cellerciser. So thank you, Tom. Gallegos writes, love my Cellerciser, capitalized. The quality of the unit and bounce is incomparable. Thank you, Dave, for building an incredible product that is life-giving. Thank you, Gallegos. Appreciate that. Brenda writes, this is an awesome device, exclamation points. If anyone is even curious, check out the YouTube channel for some compelling testimonials. I can attest that my fiance, who will be 69 this year, works full-time and keeps up with 6 grandkids, most likely due to this authentic device, not just any trampoline. No. We have been using probably 8 years now and mostly a healthy diet. Thanks, Dave and crew. Let me add that when we purchased, it now works out to about 20 cents a day, and I am confident it will last many more years. Even the grandkids couldn't destroy it, although they try. Laugh out loud. Thank you, Brenda. Cute. Pamela writes, mine has been outside on the patio for years and never squeaks. I've oiled it maybe a couple times with 3-in-1. Thank you, Pamela. And you know, again, because our competition has been for years has been marketing how noisy they are. And they can be noisy, but they can also be whisper quiet. This is really quiet. And it doesn't take a lot to make them that way. And if you have a challenge, give me a call. Beautiful writes. I like that. Beautiful. All right. Cellerciser has changed my life. I'm so grateful to you, Dave. Thank you for everything. Oh, and the Cellerciser shoes are terrific. Love them. She's talking about the Celly soles. And we love these. I love these things. I live in these things. These are so comfortable. They're like a second skin. They just mold. You can go hiking in them, you can go in the water with them, I wear them all day. They're so comfortable. But we decided to make those available to the Cellercise family.
Someone asked, where do you buy 3-in-1?
Where do you buy 3-in-1? Most grocery stores have it in the household section. Very popular. You can get it on Amazon as well, but very easy to find. It's called 3-in-1, a multi-purpose oil. It's owned by WD-40, but it's a drip spout. And it's easier to use so that it's got a good viscosity, and it really works well. I show you how to apply it on our website under the care and maintenance section. So when you go to the website and you look in the menu bar where it says the difference, click on the difference, drop down menu, care and maintenance, go to the care and maintenance, you'll see a number of videos. Suzanne writes, thank you so much for what you do, Dave. Cellerciser has changed the way I approach fitness. It's parked in my living room, which makes it so easy to hop on and bounce. I feel more energized and firm without any bulk. This is my lifetime fitness plan. Suzanne, you and me both. We had a chance a couple weeks ago to see a gentleman who has been Cellercising for several years and demonstrated and explained what he did. And he was 96 years of age. So we've got a lot of good motivating Cellercise family members. Marley writes, my Cellerciser hardly makes noise. I've never oiled mine. Had a previous version for 20 plus years. The trifold for 4 years, never oiled either one of them. But what I did do it turned the springs so that they are aligned and not rubbing. And those should happen naturally. Those springs should turn because they fit on steel pins that go through the frame, and those can rotate, and that's what they're doing is they're just rotating them. That makes a big difference. When you're on it, you can tell which ones need adjusting. Oh, that's interesting, Marley. Thank you. You can also press down with your hand. If it squeaks, turn the spring attachment straight so there's less rubbing. That's really interesting. So I want to comment on that and add to it, Marley. That's good. On the Cellerciser, we have the pins that run through the frame. And what he's talking about doing, what Marley's talking about doing is when you turn the spring so that the hook of the spring isn't at, if it's off at an angle and you turn it a little bit, it'll turn. If you put a drop of oil, I bet, on the actual pins themselves, just a little bit of oil, and then turn it, if you can get that oil in there, then they're going to turn naturally, and it should never be an issue. But that's really good. Thanks for sharing that, Marley. Okay, this is one that that Dalium found that she pulled out because every now and then there's a review that people have asked about an issue, and this has been helpful. So Patricia writes, a year or so ago, I became convinced that I needed a regular exercise routine in addition to the changes that I made to my nutritional habits. About 3 years ago, I began incorporating the Weston Price traditional food preparation techniques and other supplementation based on the book Nutrition and Physical Degeneration and Sally Fallon's cookbook, Nourishing Traditions. I became familiar with the Radiant Life Company and remembered with interest their recommendation of the Cellerciser. So I finally got one. Once I received it, I became a little concerned because since the birth of my third child in 2005, I had suffered from some pelvic relaxation, also known as pelvic organ prolapse. It was with the help of a website and information that was begun by Christine Kent, a longtime Cellercise user, determined to not have surgery for this condition. And with the help of Christine's program, I had stabilized the condition. When I first got the Cellerciser and jumped on it, I felt a jarring in the pelvic organs and was disconcerted, thinking I might not be able to rebound. And I'd like to comment on that a little bit. Cellercise doesn't have a jarring effect, but if there are things that are loose and you're moving up and down, yes. Initially, you can very much feel a weakness in that area of the body. Remember, Cellercise is weight-bearing from the inside out. It's on everything. So the connective tissues, the fascia, as things, especially if you've had several children, as things get stretched out, we want to tone them back up. And that takes a little bit of time. So she goes on, that's when I contacted you, me. You encouraged me to use a sitting back slightly posture and that it could strengthen the muscles in that area. I also read in the book that came with the Cellerciser that women who had pelvic relaxation could do it with gentle bouncing, not jumping. And so that's done by sitting on the Cellerciser. Can they see? Okay. And yeah. Okay, Cellerciser. And what she's talking about is when you can put your hands to help support your back, tilt backwards a little bit. When you tilt backwards, all the collaterals, all the outside muscles automatically tense up to hold you in this position. And then what she does is she starts to gently bounce up and down. And as you're bouncing up and down, you have a little additional support while you're putting weight-bearing activity on the internal structure. So those connective tissues, the fascia, they can all start to firm up again. That's often, we think of a boxer doing a lot of jump roping. Thanks, Catherine. And when they're jump roping, the brain is moving up and down in the skull when it's loose. But as it firms up, which the bouncing does, it helps to lift, tighten, and tone. Then they can withstand a much harder hit to the head because the brain is less likely to crash against the skull, causing a knockout. Well, the same thing's occurring throughout the entire body with all the internal organs. And so as we're moving up and down, as long as we haven't torn, as long as there's not been a tear, nothing more other than surgery can help. But if it hasn't been torn, if it's just stretched out, if it's just loose, which is the common state, then the movement up and down can help lift, tighten, and tone. Shortly after pregnancy, it can help promote contractions as well. That can help lift, tighten, and tone everything. I have a lady who wrote me a beautiful review and summed it up. Many of you have heard me say it. She said, David, as I was hitting midlife, I felt like everything was headed south. Now that I've been Cellercising, I feel like everything's headed north again. And that's it. So I began to develop my own exercise routine, first in the sitting posture, then very gentle bouncing. Gradually, I worked up to my current 20 minutes per day. Sometimes it's 20 minutes twice per day. Paying careful attention to my posture, the positioning of my organs over the pubic bone, and using sitting and standing exercises on the Cellerciser, I have improved my condition. I feel stronger than ever. Not only do I feel stronger with respect to this condition, I can even run now with no discomfort, and I can gently jump on the unit. And so through the movement up now, it's weight bearing, so the internal structure gets firmer and stronger to handle the weight. Then you can enjoy other activities again. And that's what's happening. Where I was previously having some cracking in my knees, that is completely gone. And my joints feel better than when I was in my 20s. Also, I have improved circulation. Some veins that were beginning to protrude in my feet are completely gone. And some other veins in my legs are reduced. I have better tone and definition overall, but especially in my upper body. Finally, I have, and all words are capitalized, so much more energy, which is required as I homeschool my 3 young children and run a part-time law practice. I need that energy. I have thought of writing so many times. I love the Cellerciser because it's fun, it's efficient, and it's so convenient. Stick those words right out of my mouth, which I also need for my lifestyle. I couldn't drag myself out to run, nor could I get to a gym. And I never had a form of exercise that I've been able to stick to doing like this every day with such ease. Our 69-year-old aunt, a cloistered Benedictine nun from Kent, England, came here for a 3-month visit last year. She tried the Cellerciser and thought what a wonderful thing it could be for aging nuns in their community. I can't thank you enough for making such an incredible health product. Personally, I think everyone would benefit by having a Cellerciser in their home. I agree. I tell everyone about it. And to those who think it's expensive, I say compare it with the cost of a gym membership, or think of all the money you will be saving by being well and feeling great. What would you pay for that? Thanks again, David. Oh, what a precious testimonial. And thank you, Patricia. And the reason that Dalium brought that out was because there were some comments of a lady who thought the Cellerciser was causing an issue. And it was important for her to understand, no, it isn't. It is not causing the issue. It is exposing a condition that is already there. Cellercise is very soft. It's not jarring like walking on the ground or running on the ground. But if there's a weakness, it's been known to be very helpful at exposing the weakness so we can address that and help that area become stronger. Ian writes, I love the Cellerciser. I'm sure I'll be getting another one. I am completely convinced of the health benefits this exercise has on my body. I think it's one of the best, safest, most gentle exercises a person can do. My wife and I use it every day. I think it has helped her to tone up her abdominal and pelvic alignments in a way other exercises have not helped. Since having 2 children, she would leak a little urine whenever she would laugh, sneeze, or cough. I can't remember at this moment the names of the ligaments which hold the bladder and uterus in the right place, but it is very common for these things to sag and lose their proper position. Anyway, she does not have this problem anymore. Ian, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I had a chance to talk to somebody on the phone earlier today about that same issue. And the way that we can approach that, again, when we sit down on the Cellerciser and tighten, we tighten the Kegel method, we tighten, we tilt backward a little bit, and we bounce up and down. All those muscles are going to start to get stronger. The sphincter muscle that controls bladder, that sphincter, it's a muscle. And when you put weight on a muscle over and over time, that muscle can get bigger and stronger. And we've had many, many people who have benefited from that on the Cellerciser. And you can do it standing up, but it's more the Kegel, you tighten and then bounce. And you tighten and bounce is still weight bearing. Over time, that tissue can actually grow stronger. And as it does, those issues can slowly fade away. Okay. Joni asks, questions. Hi, I bought my Cellercise a year ago. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to use it much as my old injuries get triggered. I try to lightly bounce on it daily, except for about a week or so a month. I want to do more. Can you recommend any ways for me to start doing more without causing pain? Joni, give me a call. I need to know what it is you're doing. There are many different approaches on the Cellerciser. many of them. And depending on how we approach it, has a lot to do with how our body is going to be benefited from it. So knee problems, hip problems, back problems, internal challenges, shoulder issues, there are specific movements that are designed to help target some of these areas, such as, just in the hip. We think about the twist, which is the second most important activity I think we can do, but we can keep the waist straight ahead and just target the hip socket area too. And as we target the hip socket area, we start to open that up, increase circulation, and it's all weight bearing to improve strength as well. So thank you, Joni. Sharon writes, hi Dave. I didn't know anything about Cellercise until just recently, a couple months ago. For my 58th birthday, my husband replaced my 20-year-old Needac rebounder with a Fit Bounce bungee rebounder. I loved it and soon discovered that I jump instead, Sally and Stephanie, method, and also learned about Cellerciser. About 2 weeks ago, or about 2 weeks into using my bungee cord rebounder, I started to get really bad heel pain, and it has not gone away, and I haven't been able to rebound for weeks. I'm wondering if you have any information on bungee rebounders possibly causing foot pain. It's been very frustrating trying to work out without pain now. Yes, Sharon, very, very, very common issue. When units are too soft, and bungee cords are rubber bands, and rubber bands, you've heard me talk about this, it's just the way it is. Rubber bands warm up, they get weaker, and every time they warm up, they break down. When you get to so it starts off, this is fun, and I've had that comment from many of our Cellercise family members, and they think this is fun until they've been doing it for a while, and then their feet start hurting, or their ankles, or their hips, or their back, because their skeletal alignment is not being supported, and it's leveraging the weight against the joints as they're coming down. And the higher you jump, the worse it is. So that's not great. You want to have something that has really good support under your feet, that doesn't stretch and doesn't, when it warms up, doesn't become sluggish. So when you're landing like this and your foot is coming down and then turning in constantly, that doesn't support the fascia. It does, because it's overstretching it and putting that shear force against the joints. So yeah, we've heard that a lot in Cellercise. We've had many people read our customer reviews on plantar fasciitis, for example. These are other people. Obviously, I can't make guarantees, but you can read the customer reviews these people have had, and those that have had other units, and what happened when they started to use the Cellerciser. And appreciate the question. Thank you. So John writes, I had a torn Achilles tendon in February 2024 and feel I am back to about 90% healed. I don't have any pain. What exercises would you recommend that I do? John, I think you and I talked on the phone earlier today, but if you can get, obviously the Cellercises offer additional support as well, all around the heel, by the way. I mean, that's great. So standing on the Cellerciser, initially keeping flat-footed, pushing down into the mat, you're going to help move circulation, and that's how we promote healing. It's building up the thighs and the knees as well. From this point, real simple, we can rock side to side. Now we're getting a little bit of heel movement into the mat. We've warmed up the tissue first. Now we're getting a little bit of stretch in that heel. And those two movements right there, eventually, doing more is going to be great, but just so that you feel comfortable with that tendon. Tendons take a long time to heal. That's not unusual. But Cellercise, it's been really helpful at helping people with ligaments and tendons. Karen writes, more tips on pain management, especially arthritic knees. Okay, well, we got to target that area. We've got to increase circulation. It doesn't always feel good, but the alternative is it's going to continue to get worse. So with Cellercise, we warm up the fluid movement. We activate the lymphatic system. We'll create that vacuum system of suction within a few minutes, so we're pulling out circulation between the joints, and then we start to work the knee. You can work side to side, very gentle. You can work the front part of the knee. Our objective is to strengthen the supporting muscles and ligaments around the knee so the issues can slowly fade away. Was there a question, Catherine?
No, I'm just.
Got it. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I hope that worked. Did it work?
No, it didn't.
Didn't work? No? Okay. All right. So it timed out on her. There you go.
There you go.
All right. You just have to touch that screen occasionally. I won't do that. Okay. So, how often do you lube the springs? Do you have a special lubricant that we're supposed to use? And yes, yeah, we do. It's called 3-in-1 oil. We talked a little bit about it earlier. And yes, on a brand new unit, I started the hinge where it folds in half, pull the spring cover back. I put 2 drops of oil on both ends of each spring, all the way around. And then I get on it, bounce it around a little bit. That will move the oil, and then it just starts to polish itself. Okay. I have lumbar issues, L4 and 5. Is rebounding on a Cellerciser safe? And again, Emily, thank you for that. It depends on the approach. We're probably not going to want to be doing any kickouts initially with the back, but there are specific movements that can be helpful at increasing circulation, especially if you work with a chiropractor. So this movement up and down is a great routine for most people. Check with your doctor. I don't know your severity of your situation. And then rocking side to side. And when we're rocking side to side, if we take our shoulder and lift our chest up, rock back and forth, just like this. If it's gentle, we're going to help open up the muscles in the vertebral joints. Now, if there's a serious subluxation or herniated disc or a problem, you may not be able to do any of the vertical bouncing at all. And I teach a technique on the video that came with it. It's on our YouTube channel as well, where you can lie down on the Cellerciser to take all the vertical pressure off of the disc. And when you lie down, it's a massage. And that massage helps to open up the vertebral joints, take pressure off the nerves, increase circulation to the disc. And then it's a gentle moving up and down for a few minutes, and then a rocking side to side with the person lying down. And it's demonstrated on our YouTube program, and it has helped so many people.
Okay,
Yes.
Mine squeaks a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. Will it hurt if I don't oil it?
No, it's going to hurt if she doesn't oil it. No, not at all.
There's one more.
Yes.
Can you recommend the best moves for strengthening the core?
The best moves for strengthening the core? Well, yeah. Okay, there's a couple ways of doing it. What I do for the stomach muscles, and you can see that they're fairly firm, is if you're jogging, you can do graduated movements. So if you're jogging like this and tilt backwards a little bit, this is all core. You're coming down, and every time you come down, you're having to resist that weight. Wonderful. You can't do that on a treadmill or the ground. You'd hurt your back. But on a Cellerciser, it's pretty easy. Okay, that's one. Then the second one would be to leverage more body weight in the abdominals. Now, keep in mind, this is weight bearing, so you are working from the inside out. You're not just doing a sit-up. It's not just working the vanity muscles. It's working the whole core from the inside out, because the whole body has to adapt. So the kickouts are just kicking like this. This is what I prefer to do. When I kick out and come down, that's a lot more weight than if I just do a sit-up. And so this movement is really good. There are other movements, such as the sit and bounce, and those work the core also. They create a little more of a rounded muscle, Whereas the kickouts, I believe, are a little more of a flatter muscle. And I prefer the kickouts over the sit and bounce. But the sit and bounce is a way, they're graduated movements that we do that really work the core as well. And you can really work the obliques as well as the whole front part. And I demonstrate those. It's on the Mr. In fact, we've got it on the Mr. Rebounder app too. We could show you. In fact, just so you see how to do this, if you can see the app, can they see the app? They can see the app. Okay. All right. So if I go to create a workout, that was that little button right here, and I want to add a movement, so I hit that little plus sign up there. We've got all these, 65 or so movements that you can scroll through. And the sit and bounce they're graduated movements, so this is kind of fun. So if you hit one, it shows you what that looks like if you want to see it from the side. So he's got his hands on the mat, his feet are on the ground, and leveraging his own body weight. That's cool. Can they see that? That's so cool. All right, that's good. So I'm not going to pick that one, but that's sit and bounce number one. And then sit and bounce number two, that's when you lift a leg up. So you're Cellercising with one leg up. That leverages a lot more weight when you're bouncing up and down. You're really using the core as you do that one there. And then you just lift the other leg. So the number three and number four, you've got, that's a little more advanced. And that's when you're bouncing up and down and you don't have your feet on the floor anymore, and that's all core. And then we can go beyond that. So you're asking about some of the more advanced movements. Let me show you this, because these are all in here too. I just have to find it. Come on. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, they're in here. I don't know which one. I'm not finding it right now, but I can show you real quick. Oh, there it is. Okay. So that's the bounce crunch. And the bounce crunch just takes it to another level. And if you can see that. Yeah. And that's intense. And that one, we have that in some of the Cellercise routines as well. And then the next one, which works the obliques as well as the stomach core, is going to be this one right here, where you're basically doing kind of a bicycle while you're bouncing side to side on the Cellerciser. And yes, can you do those? Absolutely. So starting off, jump both feet on the ground, and you can support your, sorry, thank you. Both feet on the ground, support your back a little bit. Take your hands away, continue, support your back. Lift up one leg, leverages more weight right here in the core. You'll feel it, it's tight. Lift up the other leg, it's a little more intense. Lift up both legs, bounce a little higher. Do the bicycle cheek to cheek, or the movement in and out, or up and down. And that's all core. I prefer to do the standing up one. It's worked well for me. Good question, though.
There's a question.
Yes.
If I have diastasis recti from multiple C-section childbirth, would it be safe to do those core exercises?
If Aunt fuses in her back, what's she saying?
If she has diastasis, I think, recti from multiple C-section.
Oh, okay. This is talking about the muscles here from the C-section. Okay, so you would approach that differently, and that's by sitting down. Can they see? I'm sitting down? Okay. When we're sitting down, you can take your hands and support that muscle area, because it's probably going to need a little support. And then you can bounce up and down. You're going to really feel that. It's going to be pushing in and out. So you're pushing in while you're building up those muscles. And that can be helpful. Good question. All right. It says I can do 20 intense minutes easily now on the Cellerciser in the morning before I go to work. Notice you said 20 intense minutes. That's different than just doing 20 minutes. But is it better to split that into 2 sessions? 10 minutes in the morning before I go to work and 10 minutes in the evening when I return home from the office. Your opinion, Dave, would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Diarmuid. Okay. Diarmuid. If it were me, I would be doing 10 minutes intense in the morning and then 10 minutes intense at night. The reason being is that your body, the time, number one, doesn't matter to a cell. They don't have watches. But you're doing it intensely. So you're challenging your body, and you can be more intense in that first 10 minutes, knowing that it's just 10 minutes instead of 20 minutes. But that really kicks the immune system up a lot for quite a period of time. It increases the metabolism. It increases circulation through the whole body. It's a wake-up call for internal organs. Breaks up sticky blood cells. It does so much. Now, during the course of the day, we're exposed to gravity, we're exposed to stresses, we're exposed to other people, we're exposed to pathogens, any number of things that are occurring. And if you're able to at night, then do 10 minutes again. You just prepared your body with an intense program. And when you get ready to go to sleep, just do the baby bounce. Let the body relax. And just let it cool down, relax. And that, when I have done that, that's been great. I don't always do that, but I get my Cellercising in every day. But it's a good idea. If you can do it first thing in the morning and then at nighttime, that's even better. And I've done that several times this last week, but I don't do it every day like I should. It's wonderful. Okay, so Kim writes, how often do you have to lube the springs? Do you have a special lubricant? We walked over that. Pez writes, could you give a rundown of what you eat in a day? My diet is pretty American. It's not, I don't eat a lot of junk. I try not to. I went to Costco. I got one of those turkey sandwiches. I cooked that up today. I had a green drink, which is a good thing because it gives the body a smorgasbord of nutrients to maintain the structure and integrity of the body, and that's good. I've had a bunch of nuts and some pumpkin seeds and just snack food. I've had some salt and vinegar chips, which I probably shouldn't. So it's nothing crazy, nothing crazy. It's more of what I don't eat. I don't eat a lot of junk food because I don't need to. But to have a piece of pie, to enjoy, my daughter Jenna, who's online often, made some incredible peach cobbler yesterday. Yeah, I had the peach cobbler, and I don't regret it. It was delicious. Anything else, Catherine? Okay, all right. So yeah, diet is important. We want to make sure we have as many live foods every day as we can if possible. And I know that's hard sometimes, but the live foods have a different property in them, that it's an intelligence that can interact with the intelligence of our body, I believe, and be utilized more effectively. It's easier on the body to digest and use live foods than dead processed cooked foods. So if you could do anything, it would be incorporate more into your diet live fruits and vegetables. If you could do that, the body knows how to get rid of the rest of it if it has the ability to have what it needs to be able to do its job. So it says, hi Dave, can you suggest a workout for tight hip groin area? I appreciate it. Thanks in advance. And Lily, thank you. And that's kind of that one I was showing you where It's just, you're just turning your legs in and out. You can do the kick outs as well. And as you become more flexible, your leg will go up a little bit higher. But these things here, really good. Oh, and beautiful again, right? What is the best Cellercise routine to tighten and tone the arms and back fat? And will you put a routine on the Mr. Rebounder app for arms? We already have it. It's on the Mr. Rebounder app. That would be amazing. Thank you, and thank you, beautiful. And if you do the upper body strength movement, you're going to see some great movements that incorporate the arms and the shoulders. But to work on the back of the arm, what she's talking about down here is just a technique that's on the Mr. Rebounder app, and it's the movement where you hold and push down and pull up at the same time. So you do these little movements as you're bouncing. Your bouncing is putting more weight on it, but it's also increasing circulation at the same time. And so that movement can be really helpful for the arms too. Yes?
Someone asked how many minutes do you jump every day?
I've done my 10-minute routine today, and when we're done, I may do a little bit more. But again, it's not the amount of time, it's how the cells are challenged within the amount of time that matters. There's a few things I'd like to work on, and the Mr. Rebounder app has different movements for really the cranial massage, the shoulders, these different movements. And that app is on sale, and it's a steal, I think, for what you get. You get quite a bit on that. And what we do every day is we turn on the app, we turn on a show, we watch the show, and we follow the routine on the app. The app will ding in between each movement, so you can enjoy the show. Ding, next movement, okay. Do the next movement, enjoy the show. Ding, next movement. The time flies by. You become a Cellercise potato every night instead of a couch potato for a while, but you get the benefits from it. All right. How often do you have to lube the springs? Okay, I do it once. This one's probably, it's been, geez, I don't know, 6-8 months since I've done this one. They often will go a year, or a little over a year, and then I'll put one drop at both ends of each spring when I redo it. Okay. So yes, beautiful. We have that on the app. Becky writes, I've been watching your videos and using the rebounder. I've been happy with the results so far, maybe going on 3 weeks. I'm a little concerned about what I'm reading regarding the prolapsed pelvic floor. That's why Dalium pulled that particular testimonial out, Becky, so that you could hear how to approach that. But to know that Cellercise doesn't cause it, just expose the weakness that was already there, because this does not have a jarring effect. All right. Okay, so we were talking earlier at the beginning about the stresses that we all have to deal with. And most of us, we want to be happy, we want to be joyful, we want to be enthusiastic, and I mean, we would love to have that, but often the weight of the world, responsibilities, children, work, relationships, health, it can kind of overwhelm us, and not knowing what direction to go, and that can affect our quality of life. And antidepressants are so prevalent in our society today, and that's often the quick fix for people. And I'm not saying you not to take them. What I'm going to share with you, though, is that I think it's a secret. is probably one of the best kept secrets that that I think needs to be exposed. And this is an exercise. We can exercise and we become much, much stronger in our ability to feel better, perform better, and interact with others better. So there's a common saying, many of you have heard this, that laughter is the best medicine. And it seems it's being taken to heart. This is from an article on the internet. It's being taken to heart in one part of Japan. The local government in the Yamagata prefecture has passed a law nudging residents to laugh at least once a day. Now we know what you may be thinking, but no, this is not a joke. According to First Post, the first of its kind ordinance is inspired by research from Yagamata University indicating that laughing can potentially reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and boost longevity. Aside from encouraging daily chuckling, the rule proposes that the residents deepen their understanding of the beneficial health effects of laughter. Now, how does that affect all of us, including seniors? So I found another article, I read about that, and it says research suggests that laughter and humor generally enhance well-being in older adults. So it does the same thing in younger, but we've dove into the science behind laughter to understand exactly how laughter may benefit your health as you age. So I want to talk about it. It affects everybody, but I want to talk about it more specifically for those who are getting a little older. Number one, it boosts the immune system. The immune system naturally weakens over time. It may respond more slowly as you age, making it harder to fight off viruses and heal from infections. Laughter improves your immune system's ability to protect your body. The act of laughing, like the act of running, the act of Cellercising, the act of laughing increases the production of immune cells and antibodies in your blood so that you can mount a stronger response to germs and infections. Number two, decreases stress. This is for everybody today. Keeping stress levels low as you age is critical. Now, we look at children and instinctively they seem to know and how to feel good. And you watch them, and we can learn a lot about life by watching animals as well as children haven't been taught yet. And they get on a couch or a bed and they jump up and down and they're happy. Have you ever seen kids jumping up and down on a couch or a bed and they're not happy? Not very often. No, the moving up and down releases stress. It increases circulation. And laughing can help with that because chronic stress can speed up the aging process. Additionally, the resulting inflammation puts you at a higher risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic diseases. Laughter helps to decrease cortisol, the stress hormone. Even a single session of laughter may reduce your cortisol levels by 37%, and it doesn't matter how long you laugh or what causes it. Finding something funny can also reduce physical tension. Three, it improves heart health. Research suggests that people who laugh regularly are less likely to be diagnosed with heart disease or stroke. So I'm going to go through these a little faster, but we can post this. We can post this on our website. Lowering blood pressure, promoting healthier body weight. Laughing for just 10 to 15 minutes burns up to 40 calories. There you go, 40 calories, 10 to 15 minutes. Incorporate that into Cellercise. Why? Because you got 75 trillion cells flexing all at the same time. And when you laugh on a Cellerciser, there's a methodology I'm going to share with you that I can, if it doesn't make you feel better, you let me know. Because even when you're not feeling good, even when you don't want to do it, but when you do it anyway, that affects your mood, it affects how you feel, it affects how your body is functioning. Relieves pain. Laughter stimulates release of endorphins. Supports mental health. Studies show that laughter has a significantly positive effect on mental health, reducing anxiety, depression, and stress. So, let's do it. And then we're going to call it a night. So when we're on a Cellerciser, the first thing to do, if you're feeling depressed and you're feeling anxious, you're feeling just like the world's just getting overwhelming. There's a lot of people that feel that way now. When we get on a Cellerciser and we start off by smiling. When we smile, there's research on just smiling and how when you're depressed and you smile, it starts to affect how you feel. It's almost a subconscious response. But you smile first. Now, as we're moving up and down, we're going to start to laugh. And it may look a little weird, but as you do it and you exercise this, it becomes easier. But I'm not talking about just ha ha, ha 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 ha. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a real laughter, where it's just a gut, wrenching laughter, and that's what we practice. Please try it. Just see how you feel. But just bouncing up and down, you're releasing endorphins, you're opening up circulation, and you just start to laugh. And you just do that while you're bouncing up and down. Try it for a few minutes, and then see how you feel when you're done. That is a secret. That's something that we need to spread throughout our country and for all that matter, throughout the world. The Cellercising helps to create a chemical response anyway. You're moving up and down the thyroid, the adrenals, the endocrine system, the increase of circulation, and then you're challenging your brain activity, and then you're incorporating laughter while you're bouncing. See what happens. Let me know. Have a great rest of the summer. We'll look forward to seeing you again beginning of September. Thank you. Feel free to give me a call if I can answer any questions, and be well. Remember, you don't have to work out when you can play in.